Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the world of contract law to talk about misrepresentation. I will be giving a mind-blowing gift. To get it, subscribe and drop your email in the comments section. You might think misrepresentation is just a fancy legal term, but it can have a huge impact on your everyday business dealings. So, let's break it down. Imagine you're in the middle of negotiating a contract. You hear all sorts of claims and promises, but not everything said makes it into the final agreement. When those statements are false and they lead you to enter into the contract, that's what we call a misrepresentation. For instance, if A convinces B to buy a car by falsely stating it's only 1 year old when it's actually 3, that's a misrepresentation. B could potentially sue for deceit, and if that misrepresentation is part of the contract, B might also have grounds for a breach of contract. Misrepresentations can also lead to mistakes in contracts. Take the classic cases of Couturier versus Hasty and Leaf versus International Galleries. In both cases, false information led to significant misunderstandings, illustrating how powerful and disruptive misrepresentations can be. Both common law and equity provide remedies for misrepresentation. At common law, you can sue for damages due to fraudulent or negligent misstatements. Equity, on the other hand, offers rescission, which is basically undoing the contract without awarding damages. But what exactly constitutes misrepresentation? Let's look at some key points. Misrepresentation must be a false statement of fact, not opinion or intention, though there are exceptions. Firstly, a statement of opinion usually isn't misrepresentation unless the person giving the opinion didn't honestly believe it, or if they were in a position to know the truth. Secondly, statements of future intentions aren't typically misrepresentation unless made fraudulently, like in Edgington versus Fitzmaurice. And while false statements about the law aren't usually actionable, willful misrepresentations about legal rights can be. In Soul versus Butcher, this line between law and fact was crucial. Now, let's talk about silence or non-disclosure. Generally, not speaking up about a fact isn't misrepresentation unless it's a partial non-disclosure, or there's an active effort to hide the truth. Contracts made in utmost good faith, like insurance contracts, require full disclosure for an action to succeed. It's not enough to just show that a misrepresentation was made. It must have induced you to enter the contract. This means the misrepresentation must have significantly influenced your decision. In cases like Peake versus Gurney, if the misrepresentation wasn't intended for you or didn't affect your decision, you might not have a valid claim. Also, if you knew the statement was false or it was immaterial, the misrepresentation might not be actionable. Once a misrepresentation is discovered, the question arises, how long does it remain potent? If a misrepresentation is acted upon or passed on without the representer's permission, it might be considered spent. There are three main types of misrepresentation: fraudulent, innocent, and negligent. Fraudulent misrepresentation occurs when there's no real belief in the truth of the statement, as seen in Derry versus Peakes. Negligent misrepresentation is a false statement made carelessly, and innocent misrepresentation covers statements believed to be true but are actually false. So, what are the remedies? You can seek damages for fraudulent and negligent misrepresentations, aiming to restore your position as if the contract was never made. Indemnity might be available for innocent misrepresentation, covering losses directly from the contract. And rescission is the go-to remedy, essentially undoing the contract. Rescission involves returning both parties to their original states. But if that's not possible, it might not be granted. This concept was applied flexibly in Ayuo versus Adewale, where the court modified the terms to ensure fairness. Misrepresentation is a complex but crucial part of contract law. Understanding its nuances can help you navigate contracts more effectively and protect your interests. Like and subscribe to get my next video on a legal and void contract.